In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the second level of the hip hinge progression here. So now we're going to move up into a standing position, and we're going to start trying to get a feel for what it should feel like when we work through our hips versus our lower back. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to first just do it without any help from the stick here, but what I'm going to do is show you the difference. So bending through the lower back is going to cause rounding right into this lower part of the back here, and that's going to set yourself up to some serious injury over time, even with just body weight. So if you do that hundreds of times, thousands of times when you're doing your day-to-day activities, you're going to cause some wear and tear into those connective tissues in the lower back, muscles, and the deep down structures, joints, and the discs. But then it's going to be amplified even further if you're doing, let's say, deadlifts with 300 pounds on it. And if you're doing that type of rounding and that's your initial movement is to go into a round position and then trying to pull through the back like that, you're going to have a very serious injury at some point. So what this will look like to start working on the hip hinge in a standing position, again, you're going to think that you have a pole going through your hips here, and all the motion is going to be going through the hips like this, okay? So first, just in a standing position like so, you want to just go forward, bending through the hips, keeping your back nice and straight, and just go as far as your body allows. Another big mistake I see with this exercise is that a lot of patients think that the goal is to try to touch the ground. So they'll start bending forward and then they'll start rounding into their back to touch the ground, thinking that that's a proper repetition for this. But you just want to go as far as your body allows. So you're going to go, and right here I'm starting to get a nice stretch into my glutes and my hamstrings. So that's as far as I need to go for this exercise. And it's, again, just to get a feel for the hip hinge in a standing position. Now, to kind of do a self-check or a self-coach at home, what you can do is grab on to a stick of some sort that's going to be long enough to touch the back of your head and your tailbone. So this is a walking pole I'm going to use, but you can also use a PVC pipe or a wooden dowel for this. And what this looks like is you put your hand into the small of your back where we have that natural curvature of the spine, and then the other hand right behind the neck where we have the other natural curvature of the spine. Now, you want to feel the pole touching your body at the tailbone, the mid-back, and the back of your head. So to know if you're doing this correctly, you should never lose contact with one of those points while you're moving through the range of motion, okay? And then again, just another point to reiterate is as you're doing the motion, you do want to have a generalized brace through your abdomen to help protect the lower back. So you do a slight brace, and then you're going to move through that range of motion. And again, I'm stopping right here because I'm feeling a good stretch into my hamstrings and my glute muscles. So very safe for the lower back. We're engaging our hips, we're utilizing the muscles around the hip joints and the lumbopelvic area, and we're taking the strain off the back. So this will help decrease your risk for injury, especially if your sport involves lifting heavy weights and getting into deadlifts, squats, things like that. You really want to make sure that you're not losing control of the lower back and only moving through your hips.